welcome to training day 1. Here's what you learned today: the purpose of flourishing and what makes it look elegant. The purpose of flourishing is to draw attention, to fill in negative spaces, so that your audience can enjoy your artwork while reading your message. There are 3 building blocks of elegant flourishing and what you need to do to make it look less awkward. The first one is keeping your shapes ovals at all times. This is because the copperplate letter forms itself are made of small ovals. That's why our flourishing should also follow the same letter forms, which is ovals. There are 2 kinds in flourishing. The first one is the vertical ovals or parallel to slant. And the second one is the horizontal oval. These are the 2 directions that you want to keep in mind. You can also play with the sizes of the ovals from tiny, small, medium, to large, or even huge. Same goes with the horizontal oval. You can make it tiny, really tiny. These tiny loops usually can be placed in inner loops. I'll show you later. This is small loops, medium, large, slightly large, huge. And you can always vary the sizes. This is how you can create different styles of flourishing by combining these sizes at once. Okay, we are going to analyze some letters and words to see how this rule applies. So we are going to analyze this letter A, whether the first rule applies to this letter. Let's take a look at the capital stem first. Even this capital stem has 2 ovals. It's here and here. All right, and now let's take a look at its flourishing. We have horizontal oval here. Also, we have horizontal oval here. Yep, it's horizontal. And then also the parallel to slant oval or vertical oval. See, it's parallel to the slant. And then another one here is the horizontal oval. Let's take a look at another example. This is the letter C. This letter C has so many ovals. It's just made of ovals basically. Take a look. This is the vertical oval. This is the horizontal oval. And this is also this is the horizontal oval. And this is the vertical oval. Unfortunately, I made a mistake here. There's a stroke that is not oval, and I made it circle or round. Can you spot it? I'm gonna change the color. It's right here. This particular stroke is not oval at all. This is actually round. Can you see that? It's round. So for the correction, we should extend this stroke, going down a little bit, then going up, and then make it turn. And now it's looking oval. And let's go back to our letter A. Now we are moving on to the second building blocks of the flourishing, which is keeping your intersection at around 90 degrees. It's not a hard and fast 90 degrees. You can make it 75, 85. It's just the purpose of this is to make your letters look balanced. This intersection right here is 90 degrees. Intersection right here, 90 degrees. And also here, around 90 degrees. Which create balance inside the loop. Can you see that? This is also 90 degrees. This is also 90 degrees. 90 degrees. This 90-second degrees rule will help your letter looks balanced. Take another example at our letter C. This is also 90 degrees, 90 degrees, 90, around 90. This is also around 90, around 90. And take a look at the balance here after I corrected this stroke. This is much more balanced. Okay, let's continue to the third building block. We have our letter B here, but now I prefer not to write my letters like this anymore because even the universal line of beauty itself, it's too thick and dense. It feels heavy and it's not really pleasing to the eyes. A lot of going on. I prefer my capital stem or the universal line of beauty is like this H right here. It's thin, slightly thicker, and then thin. You notice the difference, right? This looks really heavy. But this is a good example of our third rule, which is try your best to avoid making hot spots. In flourishing, there are 3 kinds of hot spots that you can find and you should avoid. The first one is to create these lines, this almost overlapping lines, but not really. So if we have to draw the ovals, it will be like this. This looks really tense. It's like they hate each other and they want to fight, but not really. It's just a cold war. And the solution for this is just make them hug. Make them hug together. Like that. That looks better. And now take a look at this letter and find the first hotspot. As we can see, this is the hotspot right here. It's really tense. Another one here. It doesn't really overlap, but it's really close together. That's why it's also called a hotspot. And then the second hotspot that we should avoid also is the too many overlapping lines. This area right here is already considered as too many overlapping lines because we have 1, 2, 3, 4 lines going on here. Especially there are 2 thick lines parallel to each other and very close. Which brings us to the last type of hotspot. But before we move there, I want to mention again that this letter is a bad example. Please don't follow. This is a very thick universal outline of beauty, bad shading. Even this shading has the same weight as the letter itself, and it should be thinner. And the ovals are also not ovals. They are crooked ovals and not balanced. So please don't follow this example. Okay? Now, the last type of the last type of hotspot is the line crossing style. What I mean is that uh, when we crossing the flourishing lines, we can cross hairline and hairline. The thin and thin hairlines are okay, and the thin and thick also okay, but with the thick and thick lines are not okay. This is thin, which is the hairline, and this is thick, so it should be fine. And this is also the hairline, and this is also the hairline. They're crossing together. It looks fine, but if all these lines are thick, when we put weights in every single lines here, that is not good. It's kind of weighed down the letter. While if we create those hotspots that's going on all around, that will create attention to that area only, and it will beat the purpose of your audience reading your message. Okay, so that's all the 3 building blocks of flourishing: the ovals, 90 degrees intersection, and the last one is to avoid making hotspots. I want to show you other examples that include words with flourishing so we can learn more about the balance and other basic building blocks. Take a look at the first word, this awesome. There's a lot going on at the capital letters and the ending flourishes, because the ending flourishes balance out the capital letters here. So if we don't do flourishing right here, it will look heavy on this left side. So that's why we add more intricate flourishing right here, just to balance out the whole word. And I also want to point out about the second rule, the 90 degrees intersection, and it doesn't always have to be exactly 90 degrees every time. And it's right, because you can take a look here. It's not 90 degrees exactly, but this ending flourish still looks good because we still follow other rules, which are ovals, keeping the flourishes ovals, and ovals, and also the spacing inside are balanced. This weight and this weight right here are almost the same. And take a look at another ovals. If we can draw a middle line, this intersection, what is it called? The inner loop, the inner loops right here is placed right at the middle of the oval. So that's how this whole word look, still looking nice. Let's take a look at this word and its flourishes. We have something going on at the top as the ascender stem loops, and it extends to the descender stem loops. Both of these flourishes is meant to balance out the whole look. So if I just lift out this stem loop blank without these flourishes, it will look not balanced and it will feel heavy on the top. I hope these flourishing examples will give you some enlightenment and insights so that you can create your own styles and while keeping the look elegant and nice. That's it to conclude lesson day 1. I have a fun exercise for you. Please complete it before the start of our training tomorrow. And as for the day 2, we're going to learn about the 5 places to flourish and also different styles, looks, and feels. Okay, I'll see you in the next video.